Hey, welcome back to ZTV. It's your girl Z. Today we're outside at the park because I just wanted to change up the scenery. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time seeing me, my name's Zion, but you could call me Z. And today, this video is gonna be my 1 year or almost 1 year anniversary of not eating meat. Okay, I'm just gonna get into why and what caused that. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn that post notification on so you know every time I post. Thank you for being here, and I love you. Child, and if I look crazy, don't mind me. I was crying last night doing that soul shower, getting it about my system. I just woke up and got to it because I wanted to get this video out, okay? Mind your business. Mind a business that pays you, alright? Okay? I love you though. So I want to say in 2023, like late 2023, early 2024, I was just in a certain living situation where it was very high stress, very triggering to trauma and past trauma. And as a result, my body was not responding well to the foods that I was eating, like Little Caesars or like just pizza in general or cheese or milk or meat. I would feel sick and have to physically regurgitate it. I would have to throw it up like my body. Even if I wanted to, I could smack on some pizza and be like, "Oh, it was so good," but my body would be like, "Babe, we're getting rid of this." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So that was kind of concerning me. Also, just on the journey of discovering myself, a spiritual awakening for sure. I just started doing research and was being led to watch certain videos. My intuition has always been very strong, right? So I was really just listening to what my body was telling me because I understand that's the first step in healing. You got to be aware of what the problem is. I was just watching a lot of videos about it, and I feel like everybody's always known that like stuff with hot dogs and all that, like what is that really made out of, you know what I mean? And the person that I was dating at the time, they grew up not eating pork, so when I started dating them, I had just gotten in that habit of I'm not eating pork, which honestly was really great. Pork causes so much mucus, and I can make a whole video about that. 2023, 2024 was kind of just a progression of like me trying not to eat as much meat. I would still eat it, you know what I mean? But I was just trying not to eat it as much. And I really just sit and think to myself, like, why are we eating, I don't know, chicken, beef, and shrimp all in one day? That's kind of wild, isn't it? The first 2 weeks of March 2025, I really slowed down eating meat. Shout out to Carla Vargas. Her YouTube is fluid. I'll link her down below. I started watching her heavily, and she's been vegan for since she was 13, I believe. And she would always call meat dead flesh, and that really just struck me the wrong way. It really got underneath my skin because I was like, ew, I don't want to be eating no goddamn, excuse my French, I don't be eating no mother freaking dead flesh. That's disgusting. That sounds like I'm a cannibal. Yeah, the first 2 weeks of March, it really just got to a point where I was just like, what's the point of eating this? The texture started becoming nasty to me, all the juices in the chicken, and I was just like, what is this juice? Those are fluids. I'm like, those are the fluids of the animal, and we just eating them. It was just, everything about it gave me the ick. Okay, so yeah, I was really just like thinking to myself, like, there's so many other things that I could eat outside of meat. You know what I mean? I'm like, a girl loves potatoes. um I would eat breakfast burritos heavily, eggs, potato, cheese, which that wasn't necessarily healthier, but in my mind it was like I'm not eating meat, and it is what it is. So, and if I'm looking down, I got some notes written down so I don't lose track of where I'm at. But yeah, the first 2 weeks I really slowed down on eating meat. Even at the place that I worked at a food place, and I would just like get what I normally get but not get the meat, and I would still be full. Like, if anything, it wasn't like I was missing out on anything. So doing that for 2 weeks consistently, I kind of just realized like, oh, I'm not missing out. I was like, the last thing that I ate before I made my decision, I remember I was door dashing. Okay, man, thank you. I was door dashing and somebody like canceled their Buffalo Wild Wings order, and they had hella wings, like hot wings, lemon pepper, buffalo. And I just remember eating them wings, and I was just like, this is not good. I was like, this is just not. And it really made me think, like, is eating this a mental thing? Do I really want to eat this, or am I just eating it because it's what everybody else is doing? It's what I've always known. You know what I mean? That programming, right? With that thing. And I remember I wrote it in a journal on March 22nd. I woke up and I wrote in my journal that my stomach was hurting. Like, I just noticed how groggy and blah I felt. And that's something I was doing. I would always pay attention to how I felt after eating it. So, yeah, I wrote in my journal on March 22nd, 2025, I said I will not be eating meat no more. I need to eat more fruits, more vegetables, probably less starch, probably less dairy. Um, and I feel like I can make a whole different video about the vegan journey because that's the journey that I'm still on right now. And that just comes with a lot of things. My ultimate goal is to have an alkaline based diet, which I can also make another video about that. And plus, I've always been lactose intolerant. So, yeah, it just made sense. Honestly, I think one of the biggest steps in my spiritual awakening and just understanding my body, my health, what I need. Because, like I said, when you really sit down and think about it, let's say you wake up and you eat sausage, or you wake up you eat bacon at breakfast, and then for lunch you having a turkey sandwich, and then for dinner you're eating beef. Like, you just consume three different types of animals. On top of, we know that in America and just in general, oh, I'm seeing a little bug and I need to fly on it. We know that in general in America, there is most foods, or a lot of foods that are commonly ate, are highly processed and not as real as we think. Even the animal products, what are the animals being fed? How are they being treated? I'm like, why? Somebody, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Carla. She was just talking about how, like, if the chicken is being slaughtered, if they're not being fed well, if they're living in fearful states all the time, then that's being transferred when you eat it, and that's why we don't necessarily feel good after eating it. I know people can say what they want to say, and I'm not saying everybody needs to do this because, do what you want to do, but just for me, I just never felt good. I never felt better after eating any sort of meat. I've been growing up eating fried chicken and pork chops and bacon and sausage and turkey and hams like all my life for basic for 23 years. So it was like, okay, I think I could take a break. And then when I started this, I guess it really wasn't like forever, because in the journal I wrote like I'm not eating meat unless I'm raising it. And it started with I'm just gonna not do it and just see what happens. I just had to try. I was like, let me just see what happens. Now I probably will never eat meat again, not even fish. The texture is so gross. And I will say, in this whole journey, there's been three instances where I almost consumed meat. The first one was on the 4th of July. I was too lit, if you know what I mean. And I thought I was eating a vegan burger, but the patty was real. And it was like a frozen patty from Walmart or something. And when I tell you, I was sitting there and like I felt more intoxicated from eating that meat, just a small bite of it, as opposed to drinking that. And when I went to go to the bathroom, I had to throw up, and the only thing that came up was the patty. Like, sorry if that's TMI, trigger warning, whatever, but like the only thing that my body wanted to get rid of was that fake meat. And the way it looked in that toilet, I was like, oh, I was like, absolutely not. So yeah, the second was one of my homegirl's daughter's birthday. That was also in July, and her grandma had made lumpia, and just instinctively, I was just eating it, and then I realized, oh, there's ground beef in there. But she used all real ingredients, so after eating that, I didn't feel as bad, but I just didn't. I only ate one. I was like, oh well, I'm done. And then the third, I want to say it was a few months ago. I was trying to get a breakfast burrito. I told him no bacon in it. There's bacon in it. I took a bite out of it. I said, "Why does it taste like this?" Immediately spit it out. Immediately, I was mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, "Oh no!" So throughout 365 days, or almost 365 days, only three times have I accidentally consumed meat. But it's just something that's so instilled in me. I can remember having dreams. I remember I had a dream and somebody was giving me a Chick-fil-A sandwich, and they were like, here, eat this. And in my dream, I remember taking the chicken out of the sandwich, throwing it out of the car window, and just eating the bread and pickles. And I feel like that's how I knew. I was like, oh yeah, no, my soul, my spirit is really dedicated to not eating meat. This was an aligned decision that I need to make in my life for my health, for the betterment of my mind, my soul, my spirit. Where I'm at now, I've been doing my research on herbs and trying to be a vegan. What I've learned is that most diseases, especially in America, come from the overconsumption of animal flesh. The fat in it, the juices in it. I'm like, I know they have been leading to tell us that it has a bunch of protein, but that, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I'm malnourished just because I don't eat meat. It's just I had to replace it with other things. Okay, I want to eat a taquito. I'm gonna get a vegan taquito and eat salsa that has whole tomatoes and everything else in it. So yeah, what I can say I've noticed since a year of not eating it is definitely less mucus. I'm not sniffly. I don't have drainage. I'm not as bloated as I used to be. Um, I don't really get sick, to be quite frank with you. And there's a lot that goes into it. Diet is an all around thing. It's about how you're moving your body. Are you consuming the vitamins and nutrients that you need? Are you actually nourished? But I can tell you right now, just eating meat all the time. And listen, babe, listen. I'm not here to shame you. This ain't no, oh, you don't know. Do live how you want to live, but understand health is wealth. Team, that's why this series is called Health is Wealth, because it really is true. And a good example I could give you is I love Mexican food. Oh, but I was just like, bro, there's so much meat and dairy product in it. I was like, this is not nourishing to my body at all. Even if I put pico de gallo and guac on there, you know what I mean? That's my journey of not eating meat for a year. I'm really proud of myself for sticking to it. I really just stopped cold turkey, like, and I never looked back. And as hard as it's been, I done gotten a lot of pushback. People done treated me weird and looked at me weird, especially in the black community. What do you mean you don't eat meat? You eat like, girl, I mean I'm not eating it. I can still eat all the sides at Thanksgiving. I'm just not eating no turkey or ham. Like, hello, what part of that is not computing in your brain? You know, I really appreciate Carla for real. Go check out her video. If you see this, Carla, I love you. Thank you very much because you really help me understand that it's not as scary as society makes it seem to stop doing something that's normal or regular. And truthfully, it's healed my body in so many ways. Like I said, I don't get sick, I don't have any diseases or illnesses, none of that. I feel sharper in my mind, in my spirit. I'm able to move my body and actually hear my body. And as you know, I'm like, shout out to Dr. Sebi too. Most diseases, and all of them start with having an excess of inflammation and mucus within the body. And when you cut out something that produces high mucus like meat, you kind of cut out, you cut your chances of getting diseased or ill by a lot. That is my journey. That's my story about not eating meat. I hope you can take some from it. I'm definitely going to be making a lot more videos about health because health is wealth. And day by day, I understand more and more that this body is a vessel that we were provided with, and that it really is a blessing that God gave us, and we really aren't supposed to take care of it to operate in our highest. You know what I mean? I'm like, everything is connected: the mind, the body, the emotions. If one's off, the rest of them are probably off too. You got to stay aligned, you got to stay balanced. That's that. I was like, if anything resonates with you, if you have anything to add, please drop a comment down below. Let me know what your experience is. If you've also gone through this, shout out to you. Let me know what your experience is. I love you so much. Thank you for being tapped in with me and watching this video. There's so much more to come. Health is wealth. I want you to keep saying that to yourself. Health is wealth. How you want to be rich and famous, but if you bedridden in the hospital or something, God forbid, you will not be able to get that wealth. So, health is wealth. Please take care of yourself. I love you. Go outside, get some sun, drink some water, eat some fruits and vegetables today. Do some research on it. Research where the meat that you're eating is coming from. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Turn that post notification on. Follow me on all my Instagrams and on my socials. Love you so much. Thank you for being here. Peace out.